Hello artists, my name is Cathy Curry. I'm the Director of Outreach and Education for Huntsville Ballet Company, and today I'm here to teach a movement and science lesson about the types of rocks. There's three main types of rocks, and rocks are classified by the way they have formed and changed over millions of years, and that's perfect for movement because you think rocks, do rocks move? Actually, they do go through some changes. It just takes a very long time. So we're gonna fast forward time and dance about it today. But first you need your dance tools. So we have to think about what are the elements of dance. We have four main elements of dance. This is my assistant, Charlie, and he's holding my elements of dance poster. We have body, time, space, and force. I think we're going to need the tool force today. We're going to think a lot about force. That's the how of movement, the energy, like the adverbs, how something moves. So let's flip it over and think about, well, the way that these rocks are gonna move are either going to be bound and tight, or you know what? It's interesting because it's also going to be free-flowing sometimes, and we'll get to the science of that in a little while. So, hey Charlie, come help me out with the words. What are some bound and tight words? I think press and ring are going to be very bound and tight. And what are some free-flowing moves? Ooh, definitely glide and float. So, those are our two main concepts we have when we're dealing with force today. Can you stand neutral while you wait? Neutral. What's neutral look like? Ah, that's his waiting. That's how he waits and listens. He stands in neutral. What were our force words? Bound and tight. Ooh, very tight movements or free-flowing movements. Bound and tight. Press and ring, free-flowing movements, float and glide. But how does that apply to our science concept? Let's think about it. Oh, you know what? We need two more things before we get to the science. We need to talk about curvilinear, because rocks are going to make shapes, aren't they? Shapes are stagnant, stiff forms that don't move at all. I need a curvilinear. Charlie, go in the middle of the dance floor and make me a low curvilinear shape. Go. Ready? Make it low and round. Oh, look at his round shape. That is a good, it fell down. Can you make a little ball? He is a curvilinear shape. That means he's very round. Now stand up tall and make me a pointy, jagged, rectilinear shape. Oh, hold it right there, hold it. Can you see? It has pointy edges and straight lines. A curvilinear shape has curvy lines. A rectilinear shape has straight lines and pointy, jagged edges. So you're gonna need that too. Let's look at our board. Curvilinear or rectilinear? And sometimes we talk about core. That means make a shape into your core. Core, and now make a big X. Distal. A distal shape is wide away from your heart and go into your core. You know where your core is. Pat your core, Charlie. Where's your core? Your tummy. That's your core. So we talk about those shapes too. So if you hear me, those are your dance tools. That's the dance vocabulary we need. So let's talk science, y'all. You ready to talk about science? All right. Now, our science concept today is about types of rocks. And I have this handy dandy printout that had pictures I couldn't resist. And it has the three main rock types. And remember I said they were classified by how the rock types were formed? So I think today we will start with igneous. I like igneous rocks. Igneous were formed by solidified molten rock. Oh, look at the different types of igneous rocks. It's formed when the molten rock reaches the Earth's surface and cools and freezes. It's formed when crystallized magma cools over time and is solidified deep in the earth. So where does magma come from? Magma comes from do you know where magma comes from, Charlie? It bursts out of a
volcano.
Yeah, and you know what? There's hot molten rocks and magma underneath the Earth's surface, in the center of the Earth. And sometimes, due to fissures in the Earth's crust, it shoots out, and the magma flows out, and it's fluid and syrupy and kind of sticky. Sometimes it flows fast, and sometimes when the air cools it or water cools it, gets into the ocean, it cools down and it stops, and it forms igneous rocks. Now Charlie, can you stand neutral, please? And I think we should listen to a song that does a really good job of showing free-flowing movement and bound, tight movement. Can you stand in the middle of the dance floor and make neutral and stay there, please? Ready? Let's listen to this song. And let's see if we can make our arms reflect the different bound and tight movements with, like, they ring and they press, or the glide and float. Let's see. You ready, Charlie? Let's just do our arms. Everybody listening? Start neutral. What does the song say? Oh, it's kind of free-flowing. Can you make your arms float? Just your arms, Charlie. Just your arms. We're going to do arms first. Can you make your arms glide and float? Glide is long and linear. Float is light and free. Ooh, it's getting faster, isn't it? Uh-oh, it's slowing down. Imagine that your magma is cooling. And then when it stops, it becomes an igneous rock. Is it bound and tight? Is it kind of ringing? And now imagine you're a volcano exploding hot magma. And the magma is flowing. The magma is free and it glides down the mountain and it slides down the rocks. And it's very free and flowing. It's hot, it's liquidy, it's gooey, it's exploding. Uh-oh, but the air cools the magma and stiffens it up. Ooh, and when it freezes, it becomes an igneous rock. Hold, don't move. So right now, Charlie is showing an igneous rock. Go back to neutral, please. So, an igneous rock, as we just experimented with, is a rock that forms from flowing magma that came out at the center of the earth and was cooled by the air or water. And we used that song, but we just did it with our arms. What if we used our entire bodies to show that float and free-flowing magma and then stopping? And let's make, since it flows so fluidly, when we stop, let's make our igneous rocks curvilinear shapes. Is this curvilinear? No, that has pointy edges. A curvilinear shape is round and curvy. So this time, Charlie and I are going to do our magma that turns into an igneous rock dance with our entire bodies. Now, how are we going to do that? We need to show our arms, but not just our arms. We can roll on the ground. We can spin on one foot. We can show as many different movements as we can that are free-flowing until the air cools it and it becomes still and stiff and hard igneous rock. All right, we ready? Hey, let's start. Hey, let's be the volcano. Can you make a large, let's make a shape. Can you make it pointy? That's fun. It's kind of a distal shape and it's kind of tall. Okay, you ready? Okay, we're the volcano. And when the music starts, the magma is going to spout out and we're going to make our magma flow. And when the music stops and slows down because the air cools it, we're an igneous rock. We're ready? All right, dancers, opening shape. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, there goes the magma. Can you let it flow? Listen to the speed of the music. It starts kind of slow. Are you gliding? Are you flowing? Can you roll on the ground? Can you glide your arms? Can you roll and make it fluid? Uh-oh, the air is starting to cool the magma. And I think it's getting sticky and stiff, and it's going to freeze into an igneous rock in a curvilinear shape. Are you frozen? Igneous rocks. Uh-oh, here comes another magma flow. Flow, magma. Flow out of the volcano. Glide. Can you glide and float? Oh, it's getting faster. Must be very hot. Is it very fluid? Uh-oh, the air is cooling the magma. It's turning into an igneous rock. Can you hold it? Don't move a muscle. Make a curvilinear shape. Hold it. Hold it. All right. Excellent. Oh, hold that shape. Back to neutral. Very good igneous rocks. So I think we did a good job of exploring. Can you stand neutral? Show how to stand neutral. I think we did a good job exploring how igneous rocks are formed. There's two other types of rocks that we have to address. There was igneous, formed by the magma. And here is, I like this one, metamorphic. What a good word. A metamorphosis is a big change. How something changes into one thing from the other, like a transformer. It changes, it transforms from one thing to another. Now, a metamorphic rock is formed when other rocks are changed by heat, pressure, and chemical action. Now, what does that mean? A metamorphic rock is a rock that starts as something else, and then due to just thousands and thousands of years of heat and pressure and some kind of big change, it goes through this metamorphosis and it becomes a different kind of rock. So it may start as one rock kind, but when it goes through that change, that great pressure, it becomes a metamorphic rock. So let's start in a high level rectilinear shape. Ready? High level rectilinear. Oh my goodness. Stand on 2 feet, because I'm gonna talk. Each count I do is going to represent 500,000 years. That's a lot of hundreds of thousands of years. Let's do 4 counts. Whoa, what's 4 times 5, Charlie? Uh-oh, pressure. 5 times 4 is 20, isn't it?
I knew it.
He knew it. So I said 500,000 years? Oh my goodness. Times 4 is, that's gonna be like 2 million years. Is that right? Did I do that math right? Oh my goodness, this is why I'm doing science and not math. So let's say it's 2 million years. So I'm gonna count to 4 and we're going to have a lot of press. That's our word. We're gonna press downwards because there's so much pressure on us until we become a different rock. Let's take 4 counts to turn from a high level rectilinear to a low level curvilinear. You ready, metamorphic rocks? Ready? 4 counts. Ready? Change. Pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you change? Let's do it again. High level rectilinear. New rectilinear shape. Now 4 counts to get all those hundreds and thousands of years all the way down. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent job, metamorphic rock. Back. Oh, hey, instead of descending, this time we're going to ascend. Imagine something's pushing us from underneath. Ready? Let's grow. Curvilinear, and we're going to do our metamorphic rock is going to end up rectilinear this time. Ready? Curvilinear. And let's take 8 counts to do it this time. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Feel like you're pressing upwards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it. Neutral. Hey, do we have a song that feels like we're pressing to show our metamorphic? Let's see. I have a good song that feels like I'm pressing. So let's play with metamorphic rocks and thinking about all that just thousands and hundreds of thousands of years of pressure, something that changes, something that pushes down and wears down that rock until it becomes something else. So we're going to use the effort action word press, maybe with a little ring. I like ring because you have that pressure that rotates sometimes, that changes you into something else, making you become a metamorphic rock. All right, this is a song that has lots of pressure. Let's start with a metamorphic rock on a high level rectilinear, and we will descend and ascend very slowly using the effort action press. Ready? High level rectilinear. Quick, Charlie, go. Hold it, don't move. Ooh, this feels like pressure. Press down. Do you feel lots of pressure? You're bound and tight. And then you're going to become a low-level metamorphic rock. And hold. And then let's press upwards. Press. Can you press with your head? Can you press with your back? Can you press with an elbow? Press with your whole body. Can you press with a foot? Make a new shape. Now let's descend again. Feel the pressure. You can press with your whole body. Press with your ear. Press with your hip. Press. And make a low-level shape. And one more time, let's ascend. Press upwards. Press. All right, metamorphic rocks. Ready. And hold our last shape. Press. And neutral. Excellent metamorphic rock. All right. So, we addressed the igneous rocks, remember? We flowed in that wonderful magma flow, and then we were metamorphic rock. So we were bound and tight, and we pressed. We had millions of years of pressure of like the weight of the entire earth pressing us and changing us, making us go through a metamorphosis and change into a metamorphic rock, a rock that changed into something else. And this last one is a fun one. This is the sedimentary rock. Usually when I do this in the classroom with a whole bunch of kids, we make a big pile of kids, and it's really, really fun. We have to remember our bubbles of space so we don't pop it. But today we only have Charlie and I. Maybe we'll invite Cher. Shall we invite our friend Cher? Charlie, will you drag our friend Cher to the middle of the room? All right. Cher's our other classmate. We'll make him work. Okay, so a sedimentary rock is formed when combinations of rock fragments, they call those sediment sometimes, seashells and chemicals are compressed in layers and hardened. So what happens is you have this sediment. Maybe you have a rock, or maybe you already have sand, and the little sediment, the little tiny minuscule pieces, maybe they erode. You know that word, erode, means to break off and flow. And a lot of times things erode in a river or an ocean, and they flow down the stream or the tide until they collect and press into layers, forming a sedimentary rock. And that erosion can happen from, like I said, the river or the tide, from water, but sometimes it can also happen from air and wind. So erosion is when those little those little pieces of sediment break off and flow down, and they build up layers of sediment and layers of sediment and layers of sediment and layers of sediment until you have these sedimentary rocks. And you can tell they're sedimentary because they have different layers on top of each other. So can we make layers with our body first? Let's see, maybe a leg with an arm over it, another arm over it, and your head. Hey, can we do that together? I'll put a leg, you put a leg, oh, a foot, and then I'll do an arm, you put an arm over mine, oh, or under, and then my arm. Ooh, we are a very layered shape, aren't we, right now? Oh, and that kind of hurts, Charlie. There we go, but we are definitely a sedimentary shape. Back to neutral, quick. That was a good sedimentary rock. But wait a second, we didn't show the process of erosion. We didn't show where the sediment flows down and forms those layers. So I think we should do that. Let's use our friend Cher. All right, Charlie. Let's let Cher go over. Pretend he is the end spot. And here we are, Charlie. Let's be a rock over here. I think we should imagine that we're going to start eroding down a river and end up, once the tide brings us all the way to the end, and we're going to layer up and form a sedimentary rock with Cher. You ready? I'll go first. All right. Oh, I'm a tiny little piece of sediment that broke off a rock and is tumbling down the stream. Oh, and I'm going to make layers and form in with my rock. Here comes Charlie. He's a little piece of sediment. He's eroding. Oh, he's getting in there. Good. That's right. And now we're a sedimentary rock. Back to neutral. Now that's the hard part. Now, when I do this in the classroom, now this is my little boy, so I'm pretty used to picking him up and throwing him around. But in the classroom, we have bubbles of space that we do not pop. So can you make an arm shape like that? So what I would do is I would see if I can make my shape over or under his without popping his bubble. Charlie, can you do that? Make your shape within my shape without popping my bubble. That means you can't touch me. In the classroom, we can't be touching and running into each other, right? We can't pop each other's bubbles. Back to neutral. So Charlie, when we do our shape, let's not pop Chair's bubble and let's not pop each other's bubbles, okay? You ready? Hey, we need a good erosion song. Hey, you guys, you know what I love? I'll use any excuse to use my puddle. And I think when we're eroding, we should do a little tumble over the puddle. That's always fun. You ready? Here we go. So, Charlie, go be the rock over there in that corner. And you can see our ending place is going to be Cherry over here. We still see Cherry? And there's Cherry. Cherry's spot is going to be right here. And we are going to start over there. And we're going to have our little piece of sediment break off the rock. And we're going to erode downstream. And then we're going to form a sedimentary rock with Cherry. How about right here? Is this better? That's a good place, Cherry. You happy? All right. Stand neutral, Charlie. Get ready. Put it down. You ready? I have a good song that makes me want to tumble. Ready? Here we go. All right, Charlie, you and I are a rock. Oh, wait a second, bubble. There you go. Oh, very good. All right, here we go, sedimentary rock. I'm ready to just break my little piece of sediment off and erode. I'm eroding, I'm tumbling, I'm floating. And then here comes, I'm going to settle in and form a layer. Charlie, you erode. That's it. And, uh-oh, don't pop bubble, hold. And back to neutral. Good job. Let's do it one more time. All right. Remember, you don't have to have a puddle like I do. You can have a pillow, you can have a book, anything you want when you do your tumble. And remember, we're going to float. That's our words. We need to be free flowing when we float and erode down the stream. One more time. You ready? Oh, that's not our tumbling song. Here it is. Ready? Form a rock. Ready? Here we go. Sediment. Tumble. Are you free flowing? Are you floating? And here's our layers. And Charlie, sediment, tumble. And ready? Form your layers. Excellent. Back to neutral. Good job, good job. All right. So let's stand neutral and review for our viewers our lesson. First, we did our igneous rock, right? Our igneous rocks with that magma that flowed and then hardened into the igneous rock. Oh, and remember metamorphic. I like that one. Did you use the word press? Did you have lots of pressure? Charlie, show me the pressure. Ready? Press. Metamorphic rocks have lots of pressure and then they hold. And then that last one we did was when our little pieces of sediment eroded down the stream and they floated, and then they made those layered sedimentary rocks. So now you know how to classify rocks. Igneous, mineral, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. All right, my dancing rocks, let's take a bow for each other. Stand neutral. All right, take a deep breath, everybody. And take a bow. Let's take our arms up to the sky. And take a bow. And let's give each other a hand. Say, yay, good class, everybody. Give a class to the audience. Good class, yay, everybody. Thank you for being dancing rocks with us today. Have a wonderful day.